Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm gonna put together another layout for my 2013 album. I just grabbed some random things that were my stash. This have been in my stash for a very long time. Honestly, a lot of things have been in my stash for a long time. So I'm just trying to use it up. I love working off of collections, but I also want to make sure that I'm using these extra things. So I have a birthday, it's not my birthday, and a few pictures. We had like a photo booth. I have an idea of what I want to do. So I have these balloons. I'm going to use this Echo Park stencil here in review. It's a 6x6 stencil. I went through my distress inks and I just picked a blue and a pink that kind of matches that. So I'm using Salty Ocean as well as Spun Sugar. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this paper right here, the solid cardstock, to create a border. I am gonna go in with this stencil, use these inks, and do a little bit of mixed media. Then I am going to use those balloons around the page, as well as do some stitching for the balloon lines. That's my plan. We'll see if I stick to that. I hope you enjoy this, and I'll put you in fast forward so I can speed this up a little bit. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim down this white cardstock that I'm using as my base so that I can focus the mixed media on more of the center of the page, and then I'm also ready to go for putting the border. As I said previously, I'm going to use this pink pattern, well, solid cardstock that came from one of the Michaels paper pads. I believe it's called Artisan's Palette by Craftsmith. And I am just gutting it. I like gutting it in case I want to use it for this layout or another one. I really like that color. So now I'm ready to begin. I am just going to place that stencil. I'm going to start with the pink Spun Sugar ink, and I'm just going to use this brush. I've recently discovered these brushes. I know people have been on to them for a while, but they're new to me and I'm really enjoying using them. I used to use sponges and I feel like they always fell apart. So once I'm done going over the stencil with all the pink, I'm gonna clean up that stencil a little bit. I'm just gonna wipe it a little bit so that the pink doesn't bleed into the blue. Now I'm gonna take the stencil and kind of just offset from the pink. I want them to overlap a little bit, but not too much. So I just fuss around with the placement of the stencil. Then I take a different brush and I go in with a Salty Ocean blue and just do some more mixed media in it. Um, Again, just cleaning my stencil. I like to clean it right away so it doesn't dry. I put double-sided tape and then I like putting a little bit of glue on top of this double-sided tape so that I have a little bit of wiggle room and also make sure that it's really stuck down. And now I'm just pressing down the edges. Um, I've also placed my pictures where I want them. In hindsight, I should have gone out a little bit more with the mixed media, but I still like how it looks. Now I'm just gonna place those balloons. I am so very happy I got these balloons used up. I absolutely love the balloons and can maybe I've just been hoarding it. Um, so I'm glad that I finally got them onto a page. I'm playing around a little bit with the picture placement, and I believe at this point I have everything stuck down. So I start sticking down these balloons. They are stickers, but as previously mentioned, they've been in my stash for a very long time, so they're not really sticking very well. I then have to go back in with some glue to make sure that they stay stuck. And I decide that for the balloons in the middle, which are the ones with the writing, I am going to pop them up with a little bit of fun foam. And the reason I'm doing that is to give it a little bit of dimension and kind of just really make it feel like these balloons are floating. Um, I do most of it off camera, so I cut this out. There's no reason for you guys to watch me do that. I've also added a name to that balloon at the bottom, and now I'm gonna do the same to the balloons on top. I'm just gonna glue them down, get some extra glue in there. I'm running out of my tacky glue, um, so I'm just struggling with it for a little bit. I put way too much, so I just touch one balloon and the other to get that glue more distributed. I now have to decide on the placement for this balloon with the birthday girl on it, and then I can appropriately place them. I grab my sewing mat from We Are Memory Keepers, and I also grab my stitching template from Some Assemblage Required. I absolutely love all these templates. I have several of these, and I it just makes the stitching so easy. So I'm using that line there that's just a little wobbly. I get my piercing tool out, and it's so easy, simple, and so quick to get that done. I also turn this this template around just to get a little bit of a different pattern. These are so useful. Um, if I remember, I can link them down below. A link to her shop. I really like these stencil templates. And then I just use some white thread to go through on the top there. It's just a little bit of stitching, just a couple of stitches, but I felt like it was important to keep it consistent. I add a few tiny words. I have this Collins tiny words that I've been trying to use up, so I got a few of those down. I then feel like there's something missing. Instead of going for enamel dots, I went for these little pearls. So I got a pink one and a white one, and that's gonna be it. I'm gonna call this one done. I have some close-ups for you guys to see, and I really love how this one turns out, and I'm so happy to have another one done. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you.